Good morning, everyone. Good evening. Today is the 14th of March, and we are just getting started. I think today we're talking about mind, mood, but we're more or less talking about spring and why it's important to uplift our moods. Sometimes being able to get out and be in fresh air can help us. For many of you who are in the US, we just set our clocks. We spring ahead. So we lost an hour, but for me, I am celebrating. And why am I celebrating? Because that means I get a whole extra hour of sleep to be able to do this live Zoom call for you. Otherwise, I have to get up an extra hour early to make things work. So I am super happy. From now until the fall, I'm going to be able to sleep in if I want to. So in the meantime, I'm very happy to see everyone. I'm just going to say hello to everybody who's here. Anne and Asus and Callie and Claire and Ding Cho and Ellen and Elsie. We've got a lot of people on today. Hi, Sihan. Hi, Marianne. Seat is on, Wendy, Suling, and Jacinta. So welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to be giving away kind of an unusual prize. We don't usually give this prize away, but we're going to be giving it away this time. We're going to be packaging up some of the Mind and Mood products and giving them away to 2 lucky winners. And the 2 lucky winners may get something slightly different. So I'm really excited about Mind and Mood, but I'm also really excited to talk about spring. If you haven't been here before and you're brand new, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. And if you're joining us on YouTube, take a moment to just hit that subscribe button, please. We really do appreciate it. We've been getting tons of views and it's super exciting. We're trying to create a community where you can find information, where you can ask questions, where you can get on live. And for those of you who've been getting on live for a while now, you know that I'll answer just about every question, maybe on camera or off, but just so you know, I'm here to support you and make sure that your essential oils journey is a good one. So we've been adding people as I'm kind of chit-chatting here. Let me share my screen with you so you know what I'm talking about today. And if you could give me a thumbs up to tell me you can see my screen. Thank you so much. And we are going to be talking about mind, mood. So why is it important to talk about mind, mood? We are in a time of year where there's a lot of uncertainty. And we had thought, I think most of us, that when COVID would be ending or wrapping up, then we would go into a period of prosperity and peace, and it doesn't seem like that is happening. For those of you who are listening to me in March of 2022, this is ending the 2nd week of the war in the Ukraine. Very unsettling for people in the region, and our hearts go out to everyone who was affected. Many people here in the US are trying to provide some sort of assistance or provide anything that they possibly can to help the people of the Ukraine, and also to help the surrounding nations that are taking in hundreds, really millions of refugees, including places like Poland. So if you are a praying person, I'm going to ask you please to include all of those people in your prayers. And as a world, we're watching what is unfolding and just our hearts are breaking. So I think that it's important, mind, mood. I kind of changed up the lineup a little bit because I felt that it was so important. When we talk about mind, mood, we're talking about a couple of different things. We're talking about staying healthy with our products. We're also talking about making sure that everything that we do really supports our mental and emotional goodwill. I don't know what else to call it, but just our feelings about ourselves and about our fellow man. Now, for those of you who are kind of, as I mentioned before, if you're brand new, I want to make sure that you feel welcome here. And we're always welcoming new people. I know a lot of you are watching this on a replay on YouTube. So if you are listening to it, or you have a team and you want to pass this along to someone, one of the things that I love about doing this weekly is that the information is always current. We're trying to make sure that we are talking to you about things that have to do with right now. You can go back, of course, and listen to any older episode that you want, but the idea is that we're keeping abreast of what's going on. And so mind, mood is top of mind, I would say, for me, and probably for all of you. I want you to get to know your kit a little bit. If you've never seen these kits before, I think it's important for you get to know them. As I mentioned, I'm going to be sending out some packages from the Mind Mood kits to 2 lucky winners after this. So anybody who's on the live, you have the opportunity to win one of these product groups. But in kit number 1, we have our Adaptiv Capsules, our Balance, our Adaptiv Touch, and we get a mini deodorant with doTERRA Balance. Now, deodorant sounds like a weird gift. Why would you include deodorant? But as we know, toxins can affect our moods in many different ways. What does that mean? It means that when we apply something to our body, or we have it in our air, which means either we're spraying it or we're using it to clean our house or any of our rooms, even our bathrooms, those fumes are being inhaled by us, and they can actually affect our hormones and ultimately our mood. So I want to be very careful with if we're inhaling anything that's artificial, which is why if we're applying something artificial to our skin, we can wind up with kind of a bumpy ride in terms of our hormones, and that's not something that we want. And that's definitely true for men and for women. In the second kit, you're going to get an Adaptiv Calming Blend, the 15 milliliter, a Wild Orange, a Lavender Touch, a Black Spruce, and some bath salts. And finally, in the third kit, you're going to get Lavender, Cedarwood, an Adaptiv Spray, a Serenity Spray, a Citrus Bliss, a Balanced Touch, and a mini body butter. So I have to say that third kit sounds very attractive to me. Everything we put on our body is absorbed through the skin and can affect us. So it's not just what we eat. It's not just what we do. We tend to think of our moods or our emotions as something that affects us from the outside. And sometimes that's true. We're interacting or we're reacting to the things that happen to us. But to get that peace and that calm, we're going to have to cleanse our bodies a little bit too. And I think that's an important thing for us to keep in mind. So I kind of did a quick overview of what's in each one of the kits. You want to kind of develop a morning routine. If you're a person who struggles with emotional difficulties or feeling overwhelmed, or just the news is just too much for you, I'm going to encourage you to develop morning rituals. So many of you know, I keep a notebook and a full focus planner, and in there I have my morning rituals. It's a way for me to get up and to do the same thing every single day. And what does that do? Helps me to start the day on an even keel. So when you're talking about the Adaptiv Capsules, you're going to be taking at least one of these capsules first thing in the morning, and then maybe consider taking a second one at 2 or 3 o'clock if you begin to feel a little bit of discomfort. I'm going to call it disquiet, that feeling that our moods are not exactly what we want them to be. Sometimes at the end of the day, maybe between 3 and 5 p.m., when I'm wrapping up my workday, I begin to feel uncomfortable mentally or emotionally because I feel like I haven't gotten enough accomplished, or tomorrow's going to be a really busy day and I'm not quite ready. And those feelings of anxiety or stress, mental or emotional stress, for me are a way for me to say, let me reach for my Adaptiv Capsules. What we don't want you to do is reach for artificial substances, which I have to say, at least in the US, I don't know anywhere else, but at least in the US, liquor stores have been going through the roof. And if you go to any of the liquor stores that are near me, people are in there constantly. There's a constant stream of things going on. Customers walking in and out. There's also at least in the US, a lot of inflation pressures. doTERRA has been wonderful about keeping their prices steady. We have only seen, I think in the 9 years that I've been a member, I think 1 or 2 price increases. So you know that your favorite products are coming in at the same level, at the same price, and you can continue to afford them and for your family to be able to afford them. So make good use of them, right? Use your points if you're on LRP. If you're in the US, you know, we just went to free shipping for any order over 100 PV. Big deal. It also meant that very bottom level of shipping, that $3.99, is now gone. So you really incentivized, I would say, to get 100 PV into your cart each and every time you're going to order. And whether you are a longtime user or you're a brand new user, I have to say it's pretty easy to get 100 PV into your cart. Work with the person who told you about this call to make sure that you've got the right products for exactly what it is you're going to need. Next product on the hit parade is our Balance. I use Balance on my feet in the morning. I use it actually for two reasons. One, to keep myself obviously on an even keel, to keep myself grounded. But the other thing that I like about Balance is that, I know this is total vanity, folks, it moisturizes my feet. Okay, I've said it, it's out there. I've got that fractionated coconut oil and I'm putting it on in the morning before I put my socks on. Now, when summer comes, it's a little bit more tricky because I'm not always using socks. Then I would be putting it on also in the evening and then putting socks on and getting into bed. So I'm using my Balance deodorant or any of the natural deodorants that doTERRA provides. Why? Because we want to decrease our toxic load. You can, regarding Balance, you can diffuse it, of course, in your home if it's not something that you really necessarily want to put on your feet. You can massage your feet or your hands with it at the end of the day to kind of relax yourself, put it on your shoulders, just to get that sense of peace and equilibrium. I love that word. You can put it into a bath if you want. And I have to say, getting that sense of calm, or I don't know, just straightening out your space in a metaphysical sense, if you will, or in a spiritual sense, straightening it out so that you feel like I have some control here. And I think that's what Balance does for us. And then last but not least, if you have a prayer practice, you can add your Balance into your prayer practice, perhaps putting it on or diffusing it or putting it in our hands before we begin whatever meditative or prayer practice that we may have. Balance is absolutely something you want to include in your daily routine. Adaptiv Touch, we know about the Adaptiv set, if you will. That's our adaptive, I don't know, let's call it a three-part, I don't know, I'm losing my words. So we've got our Adaptiv capsules, we've got our roll-on, and we've got our Adaptiv essential oil blend that comes in a 15 milliliter bottle. If you're using the Adaptiv system, that's the word that I was looking for. If you're using the Adaptiv system, please use them together. They really do work synergistically. The three parts help to support the whole. I understand that sometimes you're not able to, and I have certain clients, mostly men, or I would say young students, who don't want to smell like anything, so they're just using the capsules. Honestly, the capsules are wonderful. Use them by themselves, but using the three together, if you possibly can, using the roll-on as to apply to your body, taking the capsules regularly, daily, and then finally diffusing the essential oil, I think really can be the 1, 2, 3 punch that you need to get yourself back on an even keel. You can rub it into your neck or your wrists as you set your goals for the day. Applying them certainly to your temples is a great way, or the crown of your head. You can incorporate the essential oil into a nighttime stretching routine or a nighttime exercise routine, and reapply them throughout the day as you begin to feel yourself drifting. I recently started a new exercise routine. I know that part of it, some of you may be saying, yeah, but you were exercising before. I was, but I think I mentioned in one of my earlier Zoom calls that I messed up my hip. Let's say no more. And I was kind of living with it and trying to figure it out myself. And I found a wonderful physical therapy doctor, actually in Dallas, Texas, which sounds really far because I'm in New Jersey. Just shout out to Dr. Jess Snow. And she's just she's amazing and really kind of got at the heart of the problem. And she has me doing 3 kind of simple exercises that I have to say, when my husband and my son are watching me, they're like, are those exercises? What are you doing? You don't look like you're doing anything, but I really do feel the transformation. So even small changes can make an enormous difference in the way we feel and the way we act and the way our body feels supported. So don't underestimate small steps to make great changes in our lives. Here we've got our natural deodorant one more time. We've got in the deodorant, we've got spruce, whole leaf, frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. So it really does smell delicious. It is aluminum, paraben, and phthalate and talc free. All of those are not good to be putting on our glands. And then tapioca starch aids in absorbing underarm moisture. Now, talc especially, but sometimes baking soda can be an irritating ingredient in some natural deodorants. So if you do feel irritation, skin irritation from baking soda, try the new natural deodorants. They are, we have gone to now a baking soda free option. Here's the 3 together. And let's talk now a little bit about wild orange, just really quickly, because we all know about wild orange. One of the things that I love about wild orange is that it's packed with antioxidants. Aichin says, Adaptiv is my favorite for this season. I diffuse it daily during work, spray it before sleep. I love it. Thank you for sharing that with us. How many others of you are using Adaptiv? And if you're using it on a daily basis, let me know. In our house, we're using it on repeat, and I do really think that it's helping all of us to stay on an even keel. Each and every one of us are trying to pursue our goals, live our life. We see things around us, we see things in our society or in our world that are very troubling, and it's hard sometimes to separate those two things. So I'm going to encourage you to use your citrus oils. I'm using wild orange, let's say, as a representation of all citrus oils, but your citrus oils are the ones that are going to help to refresh and purify the air. They give you that bright, fresh scent. And certainly during periods of low energy, you want to reach for your citrus oils. You can use them in a glass of water, you can diffuse them throughout the day, but incorporating your citrus oils regularly, especially the ones that you like best. doTERRA has so many citrus oils, including wild orange, lemon, lime, bergamot, petitgrain. There are many, grapefruit. There are many, many. Choose the one you like and continue to use it. Use it in your daily routine, and you'll begin to see the difference. Here's some of our roll-ons. I'm talking specifically about Lavender Touch, but our roll-on systems are your go-tos and the way you can keep healthy on a regular basis. This sounds kind of silly, but I recently switched to a really small handbag. I used to use sort of a medium-sized handbag. And for those of you who know me, I know Teresa is on today. I don't carry much in my handbag. My handbag is not a repository for a whole bunch of junk, and I clean it out every single day. But even with being so minimalist, I had to jettison some of my items. And one of them was one of my roll-ons that I carry with me all the time. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back. It did not fit. But I usually travel in a car, and now what I'm doing is I'm carrying a smaller handbag with a tote where I can keep some of my excess things. My roll-ons are my go-to. I love them when I'm in the car. They don't drip. I can use them with whatever clothing. You can see today I'm wearing a silk blouse, so I've got to be a little bit careful, especially with anything that has a tint to it. If I'm applying blue tansy, or if I'm applying even balance, anything that has some sort of a blue essence to it, you really want to be careful with some of your better or white clothing, because it can stain. Most of the time it will come out in the next wash, but who wants to walk around with stains all day, right? Not a pretty sight. Use your roll-ons. You really will love them. And those include these 4 that you can see on the screen, but also include all of our kids' roll-ons and our emotional touch roll-ons. All of our roll-ons, and I want to say together, there's more than 20, maybe as many as 25. You support yourself in a way that's effective. Claire says she uses Adaptiv Touch in the office. And Gloria says, I use it daily to cope with human demands at work. Yeah, isn't that true? Human demands. So talk to me a little bit about roll-ons. If you're a roll-on lover, give me a yes. If you're not a roll-on lover, you're kind of, then give me maybe a no in the chat, but I want to hear roll-on lover, yes or no. I'm down for a good roll-on. Any roll-on, really, that's the one for me. Now, let's talk a little bit about Black Spruce, powerful essential oil from the pine family. It's a refreshing fir oil, slightly sweeter scent than some of the other fir oils. I like to blend this one in with some of our other fir. I use a misting diffuser that is cordless in one of my bathrooms. It's kind of a little tiny thing about the size of this coaster, more or less. And I find that any of the fir oils in the diffuser really help to refresh the air and make it smell great. I use alternately fir oils and then citrus oils. Those are my 2 go-tos. I'm getting a lot of yeses in the the chat. So we've got roll-on people. Gina says yes. Aichin says yes. Gloria, Mary, Ferry, Angie, Marianne, and Claire. And Claire says yes, and I carry too many with me. That's too funny. I'm kind of a minimalist in terms of carrying things with me, but here in my office, which you can't see my whole office, but you can see a little bit. I'm sort of in the corner of my office right now. I have all the roll-ons, and I put them on throughout the day. One of the things that I love best actually are the kids roll-ons. I feel like the blends are a little simpler and easily absorbed. I love to recommend them to people that are brand new or to the elderly. Of course, to children goes without saying, but I love, love, love the kids roll-ons. They're something that I really adore. You want to blend your black spruce actually with some of the citrus oils or with that wild orange that I just showed you. Another thing that you're going to see is your bath salts. You can put your blue spruce right in your black. Put your blue spruce in your bath salts, but you can use your bath salts with literally any essential oil that you have. One of my favorite is bergamot and ylang ylang. Very relaxing, very soothing. Not in this kit, but something that I think you'll really enjoy. Not going to talk much about lavender for those of you who don't know what lavender is. But we know that lavender is great for us for sleeping. I was asked the other day, what's my go-to blend for sleeping? And I have to say, it's usually a Serenity or an Adaptiv capsule, a Copaiba capsule, and then a gel cap with 4 drops of vetiver. And for me, that's my no fail, always works. And maybe it's psychological, I don't know, but it always works. If I'm having kind of a stressful night, or I stayed up a little bit too late and I can't settle down, or I have things on my mind, I can always choose that combo for me. And it's like 1, 2, 3 by the time I let it kind of settle in my stomach for maybe 10 minutes, and then I can go right back to bed and then just really settle into a nice deep sleep. I don't need it every night. I can usually get into bed and fall asleep. And once I fall asleep, I stay asleep until morning. I'm an early riser, but occasionally there's something that's going on and I can't sleep. And with this funky hip, that was kind of waking me up too. Next on the hit parade is Cedarwood, also terrific for sleeping and relaxation. I've been using Cedarwood for years. If you're a Cedarwood lover, I have to say, you join the club. You get my vote for using Cedarwood. I blend my Cedarwood use it right on the spine, using it with my balance or with my lavender, usually using it for application. I don't diffuse it as much. If you're a Cedarwood lover, let me know. Cedarwood, not sure why, but great chemistry for men and boys. I've mentioned this many times on this Zoom call. You can add it to your moisturizer once in a while at the start of the day, especially if you want to get a little bit of an astringent effect. You can create obviously a relaxing environment with Cedarwood if you're going to diffuse it. But I have to say, for children on the soles of the feet or the back of the spine, back of the neck, you can use it as an all-purpose cleaner because it has that, especially for your wood. You can polish your wood with it and get that lovely cedarwood smell. But the other thing, last but not least, that I do with it is I will put about 5 to 10 drops on a cotton ball and then leave it in my closets. You know my story with my moths. Yes. I actually had two more sweaters. I know. I actually had 2 sweaters repaired recently that were had teeny holes in them and I didn't want to give them up, but some of them were just destroyed. So the moths had a lunch and I lost the sweater. Calming Mist. Now, this is a product that we don't get ordinarily on our regular lineup of products. It does come in the Adaptiv kit, which is what makes it so special. You're spraying down your linens for the most part. You want to give it a good shake. But I have to say, once that spray is done, you could make your own. I would basically add 10 to 15 drops of Adaptiv oil, fill the rest with water, and then I would add one of the following, either a pinch of salt, and I would use like a natural sea salt, or a tablespoon of vodka, basically, to help with the emulsion of the essential oil in the water, because we know that oil and water do not mix. And then give it a good shake, and then you can spray down whatever you need to. But you can see here it's on top of some linens. They are kind of limited edition products that doTERRA adds into these kits. So you do get something a little bit different. Jacinta says she diffuses cedarwood with lavender and bergamot for sleep. I bet that smells delicious. And Ferry says she uses cedarwood for a hair treatment. I bet that smells great too. So you can use these on this Adaptiv mist on the seats of your car while you're running errands, if you're going to be in a stressful situation. I like the idea of using a calming mist. Now, we're thinking about calming, not a sleeping mist, right? Don't want anybody to think if I'm going to spray that, I'm going to be in my car and then I'm going to fall asleep at the wheel. No, what it is going to do though, is going to ratchet down the stress level so that you're just feeling a little bit less tense as you're going around and doing things that are maybe a little tension ridden for you. The last thing is laundry. You can use them on your dryer balls. You can use the essential oil if you wish on one of those wool dryer balls that we had available. If you didn't get the doTERRA version, it's okay. You can usually find them in your local health food store and you can spray down that ball and then throw it in the dryer. The wool acts as a natural anti-static agent. And then of course you get the fresh scent from your essential oils. The other spray that you're going to get in one of your packs is the Serenity Linen Mist. This was a limited time offer that came out I want to say 2 Christmases ago. It's been super popular. Same idea. You're going to be spraying down your linens, spraying down your car if you want. Now, I would say Serenity is really meant to help us to soothe us at the end of the day. So if you've maybe had a fussy child, you could spray their car seat. But I don't know if I would be spraying this everywhere and expect it to just stay alert and awake. So this is your, let's call it your sleep spray. And the other one is your anti-anxiety or anti-stress spray. But I would be using them together or maybe one right after the other. Citrus Bliss, gosh, Citrus Bliss is an oldie but a goodie. If you're a Citrus Bliss fan, please let me know in the chat. I've gone through stages where, I don't know, Citrus Bliss and we kind of had a bit of a breakup, but when I think about it, I know that if I didn't have it, I would be so upset. The other thing about Citrus Bliss is it has that natural sort of vanilla smell. I was not a fan of vanilla until I smelled the doTERRA vanilla. And now I am convinced. I also love it to blend with other things. I like Citrus Bliss blended with one of the spice oils. So if you think about things like clove or cinnamon bark, that's how I like Citrus Bliss. The sweet smell for me is a little bit much, but blended with one of the spices, I love that sort of 1, 2, 3 together, really smells good. You can put it in your, this is interesting, you can put it in the tube of your toilet paper roll. Interesting. Of course, you can use it in your diffuser. You can apply it to your feet. You can put it on anywhere in little sacks in your closet. You can uplift. It provides an uplifting spray. But who's a Citrus Bliss fan? I'd really love to hear, because this is an oldie but a goodie. Sometimes we forget about it. It is also very reasonably priced. So if you are a Citrus Bliss fan, I'd love to hear it. And this is one of those oils that if it went away, we'd be so sad, but sometimes we don't even think about it, right? Gosh, poor Citrus Bliss. Okay, we've got another, this is kind of a whole view of everything that's coming in the kit. And we've got our Balance Touch, again, something that was a limited time offer that has become part of our regular lineup. At least it is in part of this kit. I don't know if it's available in every market throughout the world. Again, roll-ons, think convenience, right? That's why we're using our roll-ons on a regular basis. Okay, who is a lover of the body butter? Now, when the body butter went out of stock for a while, I was honestly one of the saddest people. I do tend to have drier skin and I love the body butter and I use it on repeat. I usually have a couple of extra in my cabinet behind me, but I ran out like everybody else, but I was able to get a mini body butter through the Adaptiv kit and for the My Mood kit, and I'm super happy. This is the unscented body butter, usually the body butter that we get through the oh my goodness, directly, that we can order directly from doTERRA, is scented, but either one really is lovely. I love the scented one. It's so yummy. Okay, let's talk about the kids roll-ons. And for those of you who are on live, we've got a great prize. So if you know anyone who might be interested in a great prize today, please let them know. Send out a quick text message and say, Elena's got a great prize today. Hop on, because they can qualify. Even if they're getting on a little bit late, we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance. Thinker Focus Blend. So I recently sent a package to a friend of mine who lives in Miami, who was interested in trying a couple of products. She wanted things for energy, memory, and focus. Energy, memory, focus. So what would be the 3 products that you would send out if you were talking about energy, memory, and focus? Let me know in the chat, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about Thinker. What are the products that I love from the kids line? I love Steady. I love Thinker. And I love, I'm trying to think of the other one that I really love. I love some of the one for digestion, which right now is totally escaping me. But the idea that they're a simplified blend, usually no more than 3 or 4 essential oils blended with fractionated coconut oil, really appeals to me. And I recommend them all the time. You can, as you know, with some of these kits, order some additional products, things like you can get the Serenity gel caps, you can get more adaptive caps, you could include a diffuser. So these kits are kind of custom made, if you will. My recommendation for this friend was Mito to Max capsules, a Thinker essential oil, and an Intune essential oil. And those were my 3 recommendations. I love the kids blends. Every one that I open just smells, there's something about it that's so attractive. What do you think of the kids blends? Let me know, because we're going to have an interesting gift at the end. Take a sip of coffee. I'm talking so much. I'm drinking hot again, so I'm back to hot coffee, at least for the time being. We'll see as spring rolls around if I'm going to go back to iced. I think I will. Those are my favorite. We know how to apply essential oils for the most part. We're always applying on our pulse points, soles of the feet, anywhere really on the body. There's only 2 places that we're avoiding. We're never putting essential oils in our eyes or pouring them in our ears. You know, most of the essential oils that we use can be used at least 2 ways, aromatically and topically. And then many of them can be used internally. Check your bottles for best usage. So here's a couple of frequently asked questions about the wellness program. Can I run more than one wellness program at the same time? The answer is, let me know. Let me know in the chat if you know. And can I customize which products that I receive in my wellness program? The answer is no. You get the kit and then you get some extras that you can add, but outside of that, you cannot put that into the kit. It doesn't work that way. It's pre-packaged, you get what you get. Can I change tracks? Yes, you can change if let's say you're doing Mind Mood and you decide, you know what, I'd really rather do respiratory. Okay, that's great. You can start another program, stop the first one and start the second one. But if you start the second one, you're going to be starting at kit number 1. You can't jump in the middle. Absolutely, that doesn't work. So can you participate in the same program at 2 programs at the same time? Yes, you can add 2. You can even add 2 of the same kit. So recently I needed 2 respiratory kits and I'm running them kind of side by side. And when I get to the 3rd month, I have an option. I can either start again with the respiratory kit, or I can go and jump into another kit if I so choose. I have made the crazy mistake of taking the kit out of my cart somewhere in month 2, and then just wanted to kick myself because I didn't get to month 3. So you'll see, I don't know, can you see behind me? I don't think you can. It's a little bit further off. I think it's off camera. I've got a whole, oh, you can see it. See those little brown bags back there, everybody? Right behind me, like sort of here by my elbow, right? Those are months 2 and 3 of all different sorts of kits that started and stopped or didn't make it to the end. I have to be more consistent. I don't even know. Anyway, great program. I love all of the kits, and I think they're a wonderful thing. I know that outside of the US, you have to order them as an NFR. Okay, so anything that you need about some product information, I'm going to add quickly into the chat in case you have any questions, because this is super important. Whoops. Let's see if I can get this to copy. If I cannot, I will do it later. Nope, we're doing it later. Okay. And then last but not least, thank you for having been here. You've been a wonderful group. I'm so excited actually to spread the word about the Mind Mood Kit. I think this is the time and the place for us to be talking about mood oils to support our moods. There's a lot of emotion out there, folks, and many people are not dealing well with their stress. We want to make sure that we are being in service to the people on our teams. And sometimes someone just needs a listening ear. I know that I talk to people and they feel like they don't have a friend. They don't have someone to talk to. They don't want to burden their family because they're afraid that their emotions are going to be too great or too bold or too frightening for someone who's they're going to need to talk to. We are all feeling the depth of emotion right now. I don't know how else to really convey that. I tend to be a glass full kind of person. And what I feel like my role right now or my job is just to really listen. And I can't change certainly what's going on, but I can pray and I can listen when I feel like someone needs a listening ear. So if you're one of those people who's really struggling right now, please know that I'm with you. Reach out to someone that you know, reach out to a friend, send me a text message or DM. I'd love to hear from you, and just consider using the power of prayer or meditation to kind of relax you, and certainly use your essential oils because they really, really will help. Last but not least, you know that we have several different kits, not just the Mind Mood Kit, but others that may help you to support whatever it is you're feeling as you go forward in the next few months. Follow or subscribe. We are on all social media channels, as you know. And then remember, you're amazing. You really are. You're amazing because you're here. You're amazing because you're using these products and you're making the conscious choice to just be healthier and to use something that will support you today and in the future. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And thank you so much for having been here. Okay, we're going to stop the share. There we go. For those of you who are here for the first time or you're here live, just hang on. I'm going to say farewell to everybody who's watching on YouTube. Very grateful that you're here today. We're going to be back again next week. For those of you who are celebrating, happy St. Patrick's Day. As you can see, I wore my green today. I don't know if anybody noticed. I'll be celebrating in the next 3 days. I've got a few green things up in my house. Maybe I'll do a quick video today with my St. Patrick's Day decor, but I'm excited about the day, and I think it's a good thing, at least for me. It's a good thing. St. Patrick was a very interesting man, and he did some very good things in Ireland and for the Irish people. So we celebrate his dedication to people and his service, right? Which is what we all do. This is a service. This is a service announcement, but this is a service job, service, a calling that we have to be able to be in service to others. I hope that when you listen to what I have to say every week, you know that I'm trying to instruct or give guidance to everyone who's here. It's not my job to impress you or to try to do something that, I'm never trying to show off. I'm always trying to make sure that the information that we're conveying is going to help you with whatever it is that you need. So on a lighter note, have a wonderful, wonderful week. If you're on YouTube, can't wait to see you back again next week. And for all of you who are on live, stay tuned and we'll be giving out those prizes. See you real soon. Bye-bye now.